So another reaction idea for today. We have a meal for today. We have like 60 minutes for react idea. About Firefly, which if you know me, I'm a massive Firefly slave. If you say something about Firefly or break alone, I'm gonna come to your house and do stuff. Yeah. So probably something about Firefly. Is it? I don't know. Is it a bad thing? Like most, like what is it? Most people on the internet just hate Firefly for no reason why. I don't know why. Like her gameplay or something. I don't know what. But sure. So enough jabbing. Let's do a bit of a reaction, Andy.
By most metrics I could find online, Firefly is the most popular starrail character.
True. Kafka. Yeah. Okay. Knew it. Fuck. Okay. Just because there's no way. Because there's. Oh no. Is it either Firefly top or Kafka top? Is one of those two. Also, I did not know that Subov is that high. By the way, I thought like even Jingjuan could be higher. Okay.
Her subreddit has the most members, and a recent Japanese popularity poll also put her at number 1, where it wasn't even close. Of course, this is largely a result of her characterization throughout Penaconi's story, but Hoyoverse knew they had to.
I mean, it's true, right? Like she's our wife, right? So I mean, it's reasonable for her to be like the most popular.
Capitalize on the hype for this character that had been building up for months by giving her a strong kit that's easy to use. Unfortunately, this went at odds with their decision to make her a break DPS. Because they function so differently compared to the other more conventional DPS characters, the designers needed to be extra careful in making sure the inherent drawbacks of break didn't have strong negative effects on our user experience. Over time, the developers have evidently gotten better at ensuring characters are no longer held back by their unique aspects, but I have to admit that Firefly demonstrates the opposite extreme. They compensated so hard for her weaknesses to the point where they basically became.
Okay, true. Like she does implant fire. That is one thing true though.
New strengths for her.
It does make her kind of better.
I'd say her gameplay was designed really well, and they succeeded in making her super fun to play, but it's also quite apparent that her kit is rather overloaded. Like for every detail that I find to be really smart, there's another
let's see why roll go wrong. Let's see.
Completely fine without. Let's break down exactly how the developers went about crafting what could very well
was it Firefly shields versus anti-Firefly. Let's see.
Continue to be the strongest, most synergistic character design ever created in Honkai Star Rail. Firefly's entire gameplay revolves around doing break and super break damage, which is entirely enabled by her ultimate's complete combustion state, by giving her speed, stronger attacks, increased weakness break efficiency, and a bit of extra break damage received by enemies. But instead of her ultimate reliance being a hard liability like it is with some characters, Firefly just shrugs that condition off by only needing 2 skill usages to recharge her ult, each of which also action advances her by 20.
Okay, true. Hold on. No, I thought I can come back with like some because this is law stuff. No, this is not law at all. This is just her being broken, which is good. Good. My wife being broken. Good.
5%. Even if you mess up, don't have skill points, and need to basic attack once, that's still faster than pretty much every other character.
Is it? Because I know that her normal barely regen energy at all. Skill of course like I think it's like an E is like 60% regen, which is very fast compared to anyone else. Rappa was no, I think Rappa is also pretty slow as well, right? Yeah. All the fast character could be like Ting Yun, maybe. Could be that. Trailblazer. I don't think so. But yeah, like in the game overall, like I think Firefly is the fastest to get ult up. So yeah.
The second skill doesn't even really register as you needing to spend a turn to charge because her ultimate advances her next action by 100% anyway. So realistically, she only has one complete turn of downtime because by turn 2 she's back at full strength again. And starting battle with half energy cuts out that first turn, so you essentially.
Okay, true. That is okay. This is quite broken. This is truly broken. Like somehow I don't know for one reason why like Firefly just have like 60% of energy recharge when you enter battle. You don't have to do E. It is set in by default. That is so funny.
Start combat with your ult. Plus, you never have to worry about getting kills or taking hits to charge that last bit of energy. Having an action advance
5.
on her ult to begin with makes sense because her combustion state lasts until a countdown with 70 fixed speed hits the action order, so having her act at the start of this counter makes the number of enhanced attacks she gets consistent. They could have just made her ult give her a set number of enhanced attacks, but the way they ended up doing it makes it so that she scales harder with speed by being able to get more total actions during her ult without the usual drawback of needing to refresh it sooner. And because the list of actions resets after finishing a wave, clearing one effectively refreshes the combustion state's entire cooldown for free, so that's 2 more.
Wait, hold on. Do you have any reason why for Firefly just immediately just have a start even in a new turn, like for this one, right? I think somewhere in a kit like passive or something.
One effectively refreshes the
like when you kill the first wave, right?
Actions during her
like, hold on.
Resets
like you
after
kill the first wave,
clearing one effectively
wave,
refreshes
and then she just start there. I think it's somewhere in her kit. I mean, this is extremely broken, right? Like imagine this for who could it be? Like for any DPS, like what Akron, Rappa, even Blade, like any DPS, like for you able to do this, it is fucking broken. And the fact this is break character as well, right? Like imagine, right? She can do break in one hit. Like you can just see this bar, right? Imagine she can do this, do full bar in one hit. Like it just rendered the entire enemy. Like no, it is just like a fucking zero turn character basically.
Combustion state's entire cooldown for free, so that's 2 more features to make her feel less ultimate reliant. The only downside to this system is that you can potentially get less total enhanced attacks from being slowed or stunned, but they already planned ahead for that too. Getting to max energy has an extra little feature, being that it removes all debuffs.
What she does that? No shot, right?
Getting to
when HP lower, the reduction maximum effect reaching 50% during the complete effect rest 50%. Huh?
max energy
That's
has an extra little
insane.
Feature, being that it removes
that is just a better Bronya.
All debuffs. At first, I thought this was just to prevent her from potentially dying to a DOT right after using her ult, since her skill can potentially leave her at 1 HP. But if that were the case, they could have made it work on DOTs only, like with Arlon. The fact that it's universal means she is able to freely remove slows and more, and combined with her talent's effect resistance, it's clear the intention is to not let her enhanced state be interrupted. This is a straightforward evolution in design from Jingyuan, whose Lightning Lord damage gets fully halted.
When you are infected by crowd control debuff, the lightning rod. Huh? Is this real? Is this fucking real? No way. This is absolute dog shit. Why do you fucking have this? There's no reason why for Jingyuan to have this. What? But why though, right? Like I know that the big robot guy, he does do crowd control debuff, but how does that affect lightning rod though? Like these guys do AoE, right? Not single attack. So how does that matter?
From an untimely stun and has no built-in ways to avoid that happening. However, Firefly's complete combustion state already lasts fairly long and is easy to recharge, meaning that relying on a healer to cleanse any potential debuffs isn't really that bad. So even though it's not the most consistent, having only 30% effect resistance at level 10, I still find it quite interesting they deemed it necessary to add in the first place. The energy gained from her unenhanced skill actually also scales with its level, going from 50% up to 60% max energy
I didn't know that at all. I just pulled in. I didn't realize that. Oh, really?
At first, I didn't really understand what the point was to making it slightly more than half, but then I realized when maxed out, it's the perfect amount to where you can take one hit from the stupid TV enemy and not have to deal with any consequences. Her having the highest energy cost in the game at 200.
Wait, she was that high? I thought it's supposed to be lowest. I thought it's like gonna be like 50 or something. Is that high for real? What? Holy shit. Wow, okay. Apparently I need to read more of this skill thing. Holy.
40, tied with Yunli, who doesn't really count because her ult has 2 charges, was a pretty smart choice. Her combustion state puts a lock icon on her energy gauge to signify she can't ult again.
Does it matter that Firefly 240? Okay, to be fair, that's probably why her normal does jack shit and her E look like it does so much. I think the number could legit be like 140, right? It could be fine because of her E just do set amount of recharge. It is not like random charge. It's a set amount 60%. So even if it's 140, it doesn't matter though. To be fair.
But she can still get energy.
But for some reason, why they put her as like 240? Incredible.
Just not from her abilities because they're hard-coded to grant 0. So even though it's possible to shorten her ult's brief downtime, the energy cost makes it much less feasible. However, if she is able to get full energy somehow, she can immediately re-enter the complete combustion state. I don't think we're gonna get a support capable of doing that for the next few years at least, but there is a certain game mode that coincidentally dropped on the same update as Firefly where this happens on every boss fight. This is simply one of many reasons why Divergent Universe is actually just Firefly's playground. Firefly.
Okay, true, I agree. True, Firefly is so fucking broken in a Divergent Universe. However, Fei Xiao, I think right?
Always starting battle with 50% energy initially seems geared just for overworld gameplay since endgame content always starts you at half anyway, but it allows her to always have ult turn 1 in simulated universe game modes, which is really nice, but is also something no other character even comes close to having. Characters being able to accelerate
one
their
shot?
own kits
Holy.
is nothing new, but every character except Firefly requires using their technique for it. And I almost forgot to mention Firefly's enhanced basic attack. It's
Huh? What basic have it? Restore unit HP deal file. Really? And okay. I did not know that it heals. Okay, sure.
usually
Alright.
not that interesting because her enhanced skill is leagues better of course, but she is the only character to have access to both instead of just one. The downside is that her stronger ability does require skill points, but she also gains the freedom to generate skill
Okay, true. It does cost you skill point unless you have E1.
points when she doesn't need the power
Bro, let me tell you, right? E1 Firefly is so fucking good. Holy.
of her skill. It's honestly
You cannot
really
go back after
frustrating to
E1
use a
Firefly.
limited turn of enhanced ability just to take out one weak enemy, so Firefly having this flexibility in exchange for something almost all DPS units have to deal with anyway is a pretty worth trade-off in my opinion. Moving on to her break damage, it's also min-maxed to the absolute limit. Break is pretty interesting because it doesn't use the same stats as normal damage. From the attacker, it scales based on just
Okay, I mean this is the same as DOT, right?
their level and their break effect, which makes stats like attack and damage percent not do much. So that's why Firefly's enhanced skill additionally scales with her break effect, and why her final ascension trace increases her break effect based on her attack. This way, the attacks she gets from things like light cones and relics don't feel completely wasted. Technically, she has one of the highest scaling blast attacks in the game, but that
0.272 attack from main target. Main target and consumer sort of CCG. It's how you spell it. Alright. I mean, incredible.
doesn't exactly make it strong because her break build won't have crit or fire damage percent to multiply it. That much is apparent when fighting enemies
Yes, the one pick.
with locked
Incredible.
toughness bars. However, it can be okay enough in situations where enemies are left with a really small amount of health. The break effect is obviously much more useful for her super break, which she is able to proc by herself with her 4th ascension trace. She doesn't get the full 50% unless she has 360 break effect, but given how many teammates and relic sets can give break, it's a high yet
Oh, I fucking look at that fucking boost. Look how many buff she having right
60
now.
break effect.
Look
but
at that. Essays worth of fucking buff.
how
Look at
many
that.
teammates and relic
Break. Oh, tap pen.
break,
Break,
it's
more
a
break,
high
more break speed. Incredible.
yet feasible threshold to reach. And since Super Break adds toughness reduction to its damage formula, Firefly's enhanced weakness break efficiency combined with her enhanced skills already higher than usual base toughness damage gives her a huge damage
Okay, this is map stuff. All I know is that multiplier, big damage, Hoyo.
boost on top of it, allowing her to break enemies much faster. But of course you can't deal break damage without dealing toughness damage, and Firefly happens to have the most broken iteration of toughness bypass out of any character ever. Every single enhanced skill applies fire weakness against the main
yeah, this is broken, right? I don't think Rapper has this. I think Rapper has the 3G one. What is it again? The like the old type pen, no matter the element or the what do you call it again? No matter the type, like even if like enemies win and no imaginary, Rappa could still break them. I think that is one of her kit. I think so. It could it be better? I think the old type pen has lower break efficiency than the what what Firefly have right now. So yeah, this is better. So much better.
target for 2 of their turns. This is insane
Okay, but to be fair, right? To be fair, this only affect the main target, not the side target. Why is the Rappa one affect all of them? It can matter in some situation, but to be fair, mostly it doesn't matter though.
utility to have on a non-support character, because it's not like you have to waste skill points to apply it, since you're already going to be using her skill for damage anyway.
40% effect rest stun.
Given the frequency of its application and its duration, it means you don't have to put much of any effort into thinking about how you're using it either. Ignoring weakness type is one thing, but implanting fire weakness is so much stronger.
True.
It not only allows Firefly to maintain type advantage even when she's not using her enhanced skill, but it also
Oh yeah, I forgot. This is also a party team. Yeah, this is much better. The Link Shine team as well. Also fire, right? It's also make the enemy weakness break faster as well. Whereas Rappa, this only affect her, not the teammate. So yeah.
also allows any fire type ally to deal toughness damage as well. And if that weren't enough, she still ignores weakness type anyway in her enhanced state, which of course
During attacking that have no fire weaknesses reduce the fuck really? For real? During complete attack enemy has no fire. Holy fuck, didn't know that.
only ends up affecting the adjacent targets on her skill and at a reduced 55% effectiveness, but it's still
Okay. I thought it's like if she can't, what the fuck you call it? Like if she can't imply anything, it's still gonna break them for a bit. Oh yeah, like this one. Yeah.
ends up being extremely useful against smaller side
I was
enemies.
thinking about something
but
though.
there's still more, as her technique applies fire weakness to all enemies at the start of each wave, so she automatically has full weakness break efficiency against any enemy for 2 turns as well. The huge disadvantage of having your break DPS not match the weakness type of the enemies has and will continue to be a huge detriment to running such characters, but Firefly manages to turn the situation on its head by being at close to max efficiency against any enemy regardless of type. With weakness breaking out of the picture, all that's left is enemy type resistance. Since resistance can go into the negatives, Firefly still does more damage against enemies that originally have fire weakness even with resistance penetration, but her ability to get the full damage vulnerability and action delay on enemies from breaking no matter what is undoubtedly one of the biggest reasons for her status as a top tier. And lastly, we have the least practical aspect of Firefly's kit, her health manipulation. Using her skill consumes
Okay, this matter if you have buff. What's up? Welcome to stream. Weekend stream. Yeah. The usual weekend stream. The health manipulation, right? It really doesn't fucking matter. Does it matter? I don't remember any of her kit have like if your health increase or decrease, increase your attack. I don't remember that one. But this is like so useful in like Sim Universe or Divergent Universe, same thing. Because like there are some buff that say that if your health decrease. Whoa. Thanks Sophia for the follow. Because like some buff in the SU, right? They say that if health increase or decrease, you get additional bonus, which somehow suit Firefly so fucking much. Because her E consume, you go to ultimate mode, her E heals. That is so insane. Holy fuck. And then if she get hit once, right? Do E heal equal that more damage. Incredible. How's she going? Yeah, you know, right?
40% of her max HP, yet unlike Blade, she doesn't get any net benefits from taking damage. Similar to Jingliu and Jade's health consumption mechanics, this feels more like a thematic addition rather than
okay. I think they learned their mistake from Blade and Jingliu and just put it on Firefly.
something added for the sake of gameplay. Because if the point was to add a factor of risk to balance out how powerful her skill's energy recharges, they again overcompensated heavily. As soon as Firefly hits 20% HP from using her second skill, she can just use her ultimate to advance her next action and use either of her attacks to heal. Her enhanced state also gives the final condition for her talent, giving her max damage reduction for the entire duration and the additional 30% effect resistance. I
So
get that
good.
destruction characters are slightly more likely to get targeted than other characters, but it's kind
No, fucking no, there's no way, right? Because Harmony is like the most targeted one, especially Ting Jun. So nah, no way.
of crazy that her defensive utility is on par with Yunli, who is quite literally encouraged to tank as
Actually,
many
so
hits as
good, look at that.
possible, especially when breaking also delays enemies from attacking in the first place. Again, perhaps for thematic reasons, Firefly has close to the lowest HP in the game, but
What? Really? No. No way, right? Is she just no way? She just squishy. Okay, probably because of her like so many effect resistant that in a kit that makes she so tankable, right? Her E consumes set amount of damage, so that kinda hold on. What am I about to say here? Yeah, okay. This is let me just say again. I think due to like how much like effect she has for there we go. Damage reduction, effect rest, heals on basic, or I think there should be more. So I think this low health, this low health shouldn't be matter. I think it's matter if you don't know how to play her, right? Or like if she can't regen her ult in two consecutive E, then this low health actually gonna matter. But I think overall this low health didn't matter because of her like defense buff, whatever it is, of her kit.
it's balanced out with the highest base defense by far.
Okay, there we go. There we go. The highest base defense. There we go. How the fuck is Harmony triple higher than Gepard? How is a Harmony and a Firefly higher than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 preservation characters? How the fuck?
Even though I think this all contributes to Firefly's kit being overloaded, I can't really fault the designers for this because it does seem like it was implemented to be symbolic of the character. And even though it ends up making her have generally better survivability than most other characters, you're still encouraged to bring a healer for her much frailer teammates. I've previously discussed the idea of having an HP consumption team archetype, but I don't think Firefly would end up having a place there because she's so break-centric. However, we can see that these mechanics lead to one new synergy with Lingsha, who gets a free follow-up attack / heal when enemies are at 60% HP or less, conveniently the same percentage as where Firefly lands after using her first skill to charge her ult. Lingsha has this 6th Ascension trace as a way to emergency save low health allies, but it also is an attack that could potentially never trigger if your team stays completely healthy, so Firefly's HP consumption genuinely optimizes Lingsha's damage despite it not doing anything meaningful for herself. Well, that's all for Firefly's kit, but her influence extends even beyond that to her equipment. In the same update that she debuted in, we got both of her best in slot relic sets. The Iron Cavalry set gives her break effect, of course.
Oh, is this the one in
Universe? Defense ignore on break and super break, which really helps as it's a rare alternate stat that also contributes to break damage. However, it is the only Cavern Relic set so far to have a stat threshold, which Firefly obviously surpasses much more easily than others.
Wait, hold on. How easy is it to her to surpass this 251? I think my Firefly kind of barely surpassing that. Don't know about the other though, because I have her Lycone as well. So it does help this a lot more. But I don't know how people do manage the 250 break though. It seems kind of hard.
So far to have a stat threshold, which Firefly obviously surpasses much more easily than other characters thanks to her attack to break effect conversion. And then it gets even more shameless when we get to the planar relics, which are known to have stricter conditions. The Forge set gives speed, which is always appreciated, but it also gives a...
It has to be fire for a reason, right? It has to be fire for some reason. Who knows? Who actually knows? No one knows. Like every other set, right? Like the follow-up set, it does boost follow-up, but it doesn't say that if you attack, if the wearer is an imaginary character, it receives more damage boost. Somehow this just say fire for some reason. Wonder why.
40% break effect for hitting an enemy that has a fire weakness. So not only does she always have access to this buff, but she enables any break support to reap the benefits as well. Aside from lock toughness bars, which I'd say is more of a break team problem rather than a Firefly problem.
Oh, yeah. Talking about the string here, what does Rapper output heal use? Because I don't think they fucking use this, right? There's no way they're using this. It has to be some other set that I do not know. So I think maybe something that just boosts attack normally then. I don't think there any set that boosts break effect. No, there is. No, there is. There is one. The best slot for how many Trailblazer? I think Rabbi Booty will use that set if they are break build.
break effect to this buff, but she enables any break support to reap the benefits as well. Aside from lock toughness bars, which I'd say is more of a break team problem rather than a Firefly problem, she really only has two significant drawbacks built into her design. One, she's quite skill point reliant, and two, she
No, she's not until you get her E1. No, she is until you get her E1. E1 solve this fucking problem.
doesn't do as well against a lineup of 5 enemies.
Me when the characters play to win.
I suppose her team comps are also a bit more rigid because
Okay, Loki, right? I don't think skill point. Let me see. Hold on. Does skill point matter? You have to. You can E one way. That is, but you can just normal her for the next 3 turns, right? Trailblazer could be a problem because he has to make sure that his ultimate on whenever the stacks got disappear, right? So you could have. So you like kind of have to E him for some turns. But I don't think that matter quite a lot, does it? But if you play the DDD Trailblazer build, then you have to E quite often because because of the DD effect. Lingsha wise, Lingsha one her E increase one E provide 2 stack for money, right? I don't think it kinda matter. I think you ultimate more than you do E more. So you should therefore right you number more on Lingsha than do skill. So it's not kinda skill reliant unless something fuck up in your team like apparently Bronya reduce speed of runway, therefore you have to normal on Trailblazer kind of that, which kind of break the cycle, but I think normally it should be fine. Whereas on E1 Firefly, like they're so flexible, man. Like you can skip doing E on the Trailblazer, right? And this is so good for DD build because ultimate regen the skill point, Firefly doesn't consume, Lingsha E not quite often. Runway doesn't E for 2 years. So you have so much E left to just spam it on Trailblazer or just spam it on Lingsha to get the 5 stacks and then you normal. Like E1 make the team so much more flexible and so much more easy to play now.
of her unique stat
And
demands,
I don't think you
but
ever
having
worry
a free
about skill
unit
point.
and a 4-star on your second best team makes it not that bad relatively speaking. For skill points, I honestly never really find myself running into issues at E0, so this drawback honestly doesn't feel that bad to just play around. However, if you wanted a more expensive shortcut, Firefly's first Eidolon gives her more of the coveted defense ignore,
So
while also
good,
making her
so
enhanced
good.
skill never consume skill points. And for her weakness against larger volumes of enemies, you have her second Eidolon, which gives her an extra turn upon defeating
I don't know if this matter though. This is killing, right? I think it matter if they are small enemy, right? I think this matter during pure fiction the most because of how small enemy of how like fragile the enemy are, but there's so many waves. So I think this kinda matter. Whereas for like maybe like for what? For Apocalypse Shadow or MOC, this skill kinda worthless, I think, due to like how tanky the enemy is. So this effect kinda never proc ever. So it's only useful if you want to like max score in pure fiction. But then again, if you have E1, then you should just max score in pure fiction anyway with Firefly.
enemy. It can't
So
be
this skill point
cycled
is kind of worthless.
repeatedly, but even still, if you're fighting a lot of enemies, they tend to be the weaker ones, and with this E2, she just has easy access to doubling her turns.
Like for this situation here, right? Like the enemy are very fragile. So you can keep doing this over and over again, which is very good.
Which at this point already won't need any skill points at all. I usually don't care for Eidolons when it comes to limited 5 stars, but those first two are so good that I can completely
Third
understand.
one is very good. The first one is very good, but the second one is pretty good. It's like again, it's very situational. But when the situation comes, it is insanely good.
why someone would prefer having those over a different character. The rest of her eidolons enhance what she's already good at, which isn't a bad thing, but they don't have nearly as much impact as
Oh, let me read this. Hold on. Increase. Okay. The 6 is insane. The 4 is so bad, man. The 4 is so bad. Come on. 3 and 4. 3 and 5 is just, the normal stuff. The 6 is, the 6 is insane, right? Yeah, it just increased Firefly work efficiency. That's insane. So you go E1 or go E6 immediately. Getting to 3, I think it's fine. Increase her damage for a bit, but I think it's not that bad, but it's not worth it either. So if you have E1, so if you want to get like Firefly Aeron, always go for E1. And then if you have trouble doing some stuff, or if you want to see Firefly, then go for E6. Do not stop midway. Because if you stop midway, right, I don't think her damage changed that much, to be fair.
those initial ones. In summary, Firefly is an ultimate reliant character that has long uptime, free refreshes, the fastest recharge in the game, and a built-in cleanse with effect resistance. She's also a break DPS that can implement her own weakness type to universally get full efficiency on her higher than average toughness damage. She still has weakness type ignore anyway. She converts her attack, which would normally be useless, into break effect, while also having break effect scaling on
That's
her
another caption.
damage, and she generates her own super break. And then she also has action advance, damage reduction, and free speed on top of that. So yeah.
I think there's supposed to be some message here, like I think the dev is trying to tell us something about Firefly. I don't know what.
Saying Hoyoverse succeeded in delivering on Firefly's kit is kind of an understatement. I feel like even if you removed some of her features,
they might just make
she'd still
Firefly
be
a
one of
bit
the
too
best
good.
characters in the game. She puts
But then again, right? Compare that to Fei Xiao. Compare that to Fei Xiao. Fei Xiao is incredible in the follow-up team. Like, you can just keep proccing her follow-up every single turn, right? I don't think there's a single cooldown on her follow-up at all. And like, they somehow just make Fei Xiao and Firefly way too broken on their own category.
the other break DPS character.
Like we see how much buff like Firefly get, right, from like the fucking effect rise to too much break effect increase from her kit. And then fucking fish out the same thing, right? Somehow like fish out does so much fucking damage then.
In a weird spot because everything in her kit makes her both extremely powerful and versatile. So even though they do have some advantages over her, they are much less pronounced than they probably should be.
How much was that? How much was that?
Over her, they are much less pronounced than they
50k, bro! 50k crit!
Probably should be. I feel like it would be pretty difficult to make content she doesn't work well in, because specific things like disabling toughness reduction for enemies or locking ultimates.
Is there content that make her hard to play in? Let me think a bit here. I mean, an obvious answer is just disable the brightness, right? Like the pick thing. Other than that, maybe like fire weaknesses enemy. I could find a fire resistant enemy. I could do it. Maybe an effect where if you hit enemy, they get advanced speed. Like for the DOT perfection, right? It makes that Firefly don't move that much, whereas the enemy move more. I think that could counter it for a bit. Other than that, there's nothing, right? Because like if you remove break for follow attack, has there been any weather that counter follow up at all? Like none, right? Like follow up or like happy carry, they are the same. They are like the same kind of section, but maybe a bit different. Like one do follow up, whereas one do ultimate damage majorly, something like that. So for that place, right, there are no inherent debuff to all of them. The only one is just enemy have resistance to this one type, and you can't use that one type. Like visual or facial if the enemy has wind or imagery resistance. And whereas for break, right, I think, I mean, it has like one more weaknesses. It's a weakness thing, weakness disable. And other than that, I think that's really it, to be fair. And people complain about break to being too broken, by the way. They complain about that. Whereas look at fucking Happy Curry, man. Or look at follow up. Bro, they have no like weakness at all.
Hurts a lot of characters, not just her. The thing about Firefly though is that because she has it so good right now, with the best possible partners already available for her, she doesn't have as much room to get buffed in the future.
41k
She pretty much
guilty?
already has everything
Holy.
she needs in her own kit, so her best teammates are the ones that give her the stats she wants. This also means the unique mechanics future allies can provide likely won't be as useful for her. As a straightforward example, a character like Acheron will inevitably become stronger when more debuffers with frequent application are released
True.
because she'll be able to ult more often. Even with other break characters, there's room for growth, like Rappa would hugely benefit from a break support with flat energy recharge, but that'd be significantly worse with Firefly. While Firefly has certainly set a high standard for break units, and that's never going to change, I do think the others can further.
I'm guessing this is like a cool. I'm guessing this like the one here, a drawback for Firefly, right? An energy, as you said, right? Energy regen support won't be useful to Firefly due to she like barely need energy at all. But like if you remove energy aside, and maybe the support has other effect like increased break damage or like implant weaknesses, enemy, whatever it is. It could still be useful. It could still be useful, right? Because I think Runway is in a state where like the only thing she did is increase weakness efficiency, if increase weakness break efficiency, increase team break, and quite and very SP positive. So if you release a character where they did all of that but better, then Runway out the team. And I think this applies to the Troubadour as well with the new full grade release, right? Full grade is incredibly good for flight because full grade implant fire weaknesses, I think, and also provide the team with super break. That is literally Troubadour but better. But the downside for that is full grade is DDT. I think so, which she can't use DD at all. And depending on some build, DD is like the mother thing. So maybe in some situation you would prefer the Troubadour than full grade. I don't know I don't know when that's gonna come up, but there might be. But I know for sure that there are situations where that can happen. So I don't know about this one. They are of course going. I think there's still going to be support where we. I think there's going to be support that's still be good for Firefly. No matter like what they do, right? Like the ER thing, for example, or what I can't think at all. Oh, my brain's small, but yeah, like overall, too much I've been here. But like overall, the future support could still be good for Firefly.
Build upon their unique strengths down the line, whereas she can't. And maybe with time, Firefly probably won't fall off completely, but I'd be very surprised if she stays at the top forever, just due to the nature of power creep and the meta which could change at any time.
I mean, yeah, true. Like we saw in Liu, right? Like how good she is, and then like after Akron, she's dog shit immediately.
Break being the archetype which diverges the most from standard gameplay, I'm really interested to see what other mechanics starrail can continue to build.
I think the new one is Remembrance, which is summon related. I do not know how that works yet. Oh, I know that the summon is like a new character on its own. You can't really affect it. Like you can't Bronya E on that thing. It's like a thing of itself, right? It's like a contained thing, where you can't affect it in any way. I don't know how that works though. Probably have to wait and see.
Teams around, but I do hope they continue to be careful with how weaknesses are handled. It admittedly is a very fine line because when they feel bad, they feel really bad. But all we can do now is wait and see if Firefly is the exception, or if her design direction will eventually become the new normal. I hope you found this video to be interesting or insightful. Subscribe for more Honkai Star Rail discussion videos, And as always, thanks for watching.
Okay, not much of me commenting there. Just been watching and stuff. But yeah, kind of like overall, right? Kind of like overall. Good stuff. He did provide some unique insight into Firefly Kit by itself, which I never fucking cared to fair, but now I kinda do. But yeah, overall, Firefly Kit is too kind of broken. The kitchen was burnt down, but the cake was perfect. True, so true though. Her gameplay is just skill odd into skill odd. True, true. That literally true. Holy shit. What makes Firefly so overtuned? I think is she both incredibly new player friendly and free to play friendly character and easy to build. I think they are trying to achieve this with Firefly. I think they was thinking right, like they make Firefly so popular, and therefore new people are gonna go to the game and get Firefly. And if Firefly is too hard to play, they're gonna quit. But then if she is new player friendly and she is easy to play, the new player gonna stick in by seeing how easy Firefly is playing, right? So I think this is the reason why her kit is so kind of like maybe so good, and also least investment needed. I think that's why. Meanwhile, we have Gapot, a shell being only thing he consistently use. Okay. Alright, yeah. That's the reaction. Once again, go like and subscribe to this guy. He make good stuff. So yeah. Like, Huyo.